Yeah.
Which apparently you can make it yourself.
Really?
Mm-hmm. You just put like a little tent over a chimney, and then put a collection thing, and then as the smoke comes up onto a little metal roof, if it's wet wood, it'll have enough moisture that it'll run off, and that makes liquid smoke.
Interesting. Do we want 8-4 or 4-3-2-2? What's our level of skill? Swiss. What are we going to play?
What do you feel like, John? All right, I'll flip a coin.
Okay. And if the coin flip takes longer than it takes for two people to join 4-3-2-2, then we know 8-4 was the correct
See, there you
answer.
go. Can you flip a dollar bill? Does that work?
I'd count it.
All right, so heads 4-3 on the floor. It says tails, so that would be 8-4.
Okay, well, that's good because the 4-3-2-2 already fired anyway.
See, we win.
Yep. And we confirmed it. So this must be the right decision.
Yep. Fate and laziness are on our side.
You know what we didn't do, though? We didn't test to see if the microphone's working.
Yeah, you're right. It may be all scratchy and annoying.
And it already fired. Well,
We'll find out at the break. So
yeah,
if this is just unwatchable, we apologize, but not too much.
No.
So what do we got here? Fiend of the Shadowed Belly.
I apologize for nothing. Decent card. 3/3 flyer for 5 is not bad on its own. It has kind of a hypnotic specter type of a effect, only you can play the card or cast the card.
Huh. Weird.
We have a captain if we wanted to go into zombies. We have burning oil, repeat removal. Pretty solid removal there. Not a whole lot in white. Quite a bit in black. Not a whole lot in green. Almost nothing in blue. I don't know if this is a bomb, but it's interesting.
I will admit, going down the road of taking something is probably going to take 4 seconds.
Okay, well, then we'll take that and regret it later. So, color combinations. Red, black, red, white. No, sorry. Red, black, black, white, black, blue are probably your best combinations if we're putting any weight into that first card.
Sure.
I'm not saying that we have to.
Sure. I think that I would go with the Sea Kite.
Okay. When I looked at this, my inclination was either Sea Kite or Heretic, and I'd be okay with Sea Kite. It often ends up being removal almost because of the flash surprise effect. So.
And it's flying.
Yep. And we always lose to flying creatures, so this time we're gonna take them ourselves.
Ooh.
So
you know what? Much as I hate to not take the Soul Sealer, I think we should take the Stormbound Geist.
Okay. I actually am okay with that. Like, the greatest thing, since we are in blue, is we can silent departure our own creature, and they lose this if it's become attached. And this guy can get the beats in pretty quick.
And there's a second Soul Sealer. And a second Stormbound Geist.
Right, and one of those guys. I say we still go with the Geist.
Okay.
I think a more aggressive flying attack is what we shoot for. Now, are we this aggressive?
We have no 2-drops. I don't see anything else that really says... I mean, I like the Black Cat. That'd be okay if we had the zombie booster.
The thing that I like about maybe Black Cat is that in packs 2 and 3, we're going to have chances to get, like, Stitch Drake.
Sure.
And getting a creature out early who can chump and then get into the graveyard isn't a bad strategy. And this guy, he just isn't
But now by the same logic, you can just as easily jump with a shriek dice. You just don't get the benefit.
discard part.
But on the other hand, he is flying,
so you could get damage in.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know.
I know. I
flight is flight.
I see where your argument is, and there's this guy who has reach and death touch and could hurt us, but I think we go Death's Caress. If we end up going into black, it's a solid removal spell. If not, they don't have a solid removal spell.
Sure.
And we do have another quality black card already, so there could be some argument there. Here, I think we do Griptide.
Really?
Yeah, I have had some good luck with Griptide lately. If you can get ahead.
Sure.
So as long as we try to draft some aggressive flyers, which we took the Geist instead of the alternatives.
The alternative. Very good.
From what I see here, I wouldn't be against Gather the Townfolk.
Because we might end up playing white instead of black.
Right.
Sure.
And it's significantly better than the black cards.
Holy crap, the captain's table.
That really does surprise me.
Okay.
I mean, we'll take him, because we may end up with zombies. That's not a zombie, though. It's a spirit, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So in that vein, might as well...
Sure. Why not?
Makes this townfolk look a little less appealing.
Yeah, just leave it up.
Yeah.
We can only splash it if we had to.
Right, if we really wanted to. And I mean, this, you can regenerate it if you sack a human. I didn't see any of the... I think Falconwrath Torturer, it's that...
Gains flying when you sack
Right.
a human, also get... Well, sack a creature, gains flying. If it's human, gets +1/+1.
Right. I built a pretty sick black-white deck abusing that guy.
Did you just sack like an ass ton of humans to him?
Well, yeah, like, not only tokens, but, like, Elder Cathar.
Sure.
So
Things that
I get that, plus it flips your sentry and your whatever. I mean, there was a lot of fun. Fun had by all. Okay, I'll take this because it's rare and none of those cards are going to make our deck.
Fair enough.
This guy's a
Sure.
zombie. Might play him over a...
Reeking Scab. Why? Okay. Wizards, seriously, why is there no Festering Scab?
Amen.
This writes itself.
Now we're playing against... I'll take this guy. I don't see...
I know you hate him. You just hate him so much.
I do, but we have a captain, so...
Well, as a 3/3 Undying creature is...
Right. They can't block.
Yeah. It's the can't block thing bugs you, doesn't it?
It does. Actually, that's what bugs me the most about the Geist. It can't...
Unless it's flying.
Right, unless it's flying. And there have been so many times where I need just, like, a creature to chump to get in the last damage, and I draw that damn thing, and I'm like, well, forget it.
That's why you need... Damn it. You know,
Vault Skyward.
Yes, that's why you need Vault Skyward, so you can give your opponent's creature flying.
Vault Skyward once again making an appearance in one of our...
That's what's called a callback. So, Interloper, Bat, Claustrophobia, Victim of Night.
Right. We have a lot of options. I am thinking...
Brimstone Volley.
Just to throw things, Deranged Assistant. No, I'm thinking Victim of Night. Because it outright kills
Everything except for the things that we would otherwise be taking.
Right. And it outright kills a lot of the bombs. It outright kills a lot of the flying
Okay.
things.
I will not fight removal.
Right. Claustrophobia is pretty darn good too. But we may get. I mean, this is a pretty solid pack. Both of those white cards, someone's going to want. Someone's going to want Brimstone Volley. If someone's doing the goofy deck, they might take that. So we might get one of these black cards back.
Mausoleum Guard is pretty tempting. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I'll have to see.
Here,
Here,
back.
Deadweight, Tribute to Hunger, and Screeching Bat.
Yeah.
I think we go Deadweight. Tribute to Hunger is just a little dicey. Too often I've had them like sack a token.
Sure.
Since they get a pick. But Deadweight, almost always, there's something you want to kill with that.
Unbreathing Horde? And just hope we get more zombies?
You don't damage from the damage to remove a +1/+1 character from it. Yeah, we could. Because he will get the +1/+1 from him. I think if this guy's out, he would actually be indestructible. Because he'd always get the +1/+1, so even though all the counters were off of him.
He'd always be alive.
Right.
Weird. I want to see if it works.
Yeah, I'm willing to take it and look to that. Because, I mean, this is a zombie.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we want in our deck. And here, Apprentice would be a way to feed our graveyard if we needed something like that. Patrician, you normally get, I mean, you're getting at least 3 life out of it. Lots of times trading with something good, although sometimes you end up trading with like a 1/1. Lantern Spirit.
Depends on the day.
Yeah.
I think that Stitcher's Apprentice tends to be more defensive.
Right.
And the Patrician tends to be more offensive.
Right. And I think we are trying to be offensive.
Yes. Now that's it. Flying 2/1 for 3. Flying is good.
Right.
I mean, it's like,
Mauler can be more defensive, but also can be offensive, and this is a zombie.
Yeah. I don't see anything else that says, take me, take me, take me.
Right. And probably
yeah, sure.
that zombie. Just because it doesn't fit our deck perfectly because you're leaving him with a defender. But if you put it on one of their flyers or something,
Sure.
It's not bad, and there's nothing else there that we really want. Deranged Assistant.
Sure.
Gives a little bit of ramp and does that. Might as well take the Google Caller's Chant.
Sure.
Just in case we really zombie out. We're already doing fairly well. We're at, I don't know if I'm going to count him, but 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, Ghoul Racer came back. 5, 6, 7. 7 zombies. And,
good day to you, sir.
I'm going to take Cobbled Wings. I don't want them to be able to fly. Tell them hello, and we can talk to them later. And by that, I mean ignore every request to speak. So I want to hide these for sure. How does this guy work again? It's each zombie you control and each zombie card in your graveyard. So if we have zombies out of this, they would count. But if it's in the graveyard, you wouldn't get any bonus from that. We're at 21 cards there, 14 creatures. We have some pretty good removal.
Victim of Night.
Yeah, Victim of Night, Death's Caress is unconditional removal. Dead Weight as kind of that mid-level one. Griptide is some tempo and sensory deprivation.
Hope we see a few silent departures.
Yeah,
Even one, I would take.
Uh,
Test
so
subject, interesting.
yeah, we have to take the bomb. I would really like to get this ghoul, but this guy on its own can win games. We need 2 drops,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a great place to dump your mana if you don't have something going on. So, no reason to argue.
Scab?
Yeah. Scab, Torch, Rats are like the 3 things I see, but Scab is a zombie. We'll load up our graveyard for Mauler and Stitch Drake. There's another Victim of Night.
Sure.
Which is probably the route we need to go. It's going to be interesting when we get down to have to make the cuts. Like, this guy, I'm pretty sure is gone. But something like Patrician, which I normally would play, might go out just because he's not a zombie. Like,
And we have a lot of 3 drops.
Yeah.
He's not he's not flying, and he's not a zombie.
Right.
Yeah. Well, she. It's clearly a woman. Why is it a patrician? Pisses me off.
Well, then Wizards has succeeded once again.
God damn it. They're just messing with me for no reason. How many cards are left in this pack?
12.
Well, I guess there's a reason to be taking a little time then.
Right. And yeah, we may find cards that are better than the cards in there. Chant is decent when you have
A bunch of zombies.
a bunch of zombies, especially like a captain, because he's gonna.
Oddly enough, tends to fall in the graveyard a lot.
Right. Yeah, they love to kill him. And I've never really had too much experience with the Fiend of Shadow, so it'd be kind of interesting to get a chance to play that and see.
Huh.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, that's not really much of anything for us.
Sensory Deprivation is the only card there that I could see us playing, and I don't think we're going to play it. Which makes me then think, are we better off taking like a Sentry?
Just to get them off the table.
Yeah, which we would have some trouble dealing with.
Sure, go ahead.
Stitch Drake,
Excellent.
great. Even in a dedicated zombie deck, we don't take the thing that lets you cast zombies for free.
I don't know what. Is it a bad card, John?
The problem is...
Huh. Really? Okay.
Yep, we'll take that.
Ah! Do it!
Well, I'm not sure. Is a Ghoul Raiser better than a Goliath?
Probably, but when are we going to have another deck that might actually play a Scab Goliath?
Okay. And it would stop a lot of our deck, so we can cap out there. The Ghoul made it back!
Holy crap. Apparently zombies are not popular this year.
No, wide open. We'll take the Typhoid Rats because we don't want it to kill our Goliath. I'm okay having a Curse of Oblivion. Every once in a while you play that person who does have the self-mill deck, and you're just like, well, how about this crappy card that completely destroys your strategy? So now it's getting more like... How do we get down to...
You know, we don't end up in that situation nearly often enough.
No. This is rare, where we're going to have to make cuts.
Well, we may cut the Goliath.
Right.
I mean, I understand that. And I'm sure there's someone out there saying, man, what the hell? Why didn't you take the ghoul collar? Like, well,
But we have one Ghoul Raiser, and I think, isn't it at random?
yes, it is.
So
No, if it wasn't at random, he'd be a much better card.
right,
He'd probably also cost 4.
right. Which is kind of dumb because they say that like double colored casting cost is kind of equivalent to
Like 3.
2 colorless. So a Gravedigger, which he's basically a Gravedigger, but with more of a black commitment. I'm gonna take Grave Bramble because that eats our lunch.
Hey! Rooftop Storm! What the hell, right?
Did I get interrupted in my thought on why this doesn't work? Or did I tell you?
I don't remember. So probably didn't tell me.
Right. The problem is you never get to the card advantage where you
Actually,
have...
just be able to throw them down.
Right. If
So
there was...
you need something which pulls all the zombies in your graveyard into your hand,
Right.
and then you drop all of them for free.
If you had Rooftop Storm and Creeping Renaissance...
Sure, it'd be sick.
And something to wipe the board.
Like, say...
But not Zombie Apocalypse, because that does it on its own.
Yeah. Zombo Apocalypse. Is this the end of Zombie Shakespeare?
Okay. Cards we have to play.
Wow, we were tight, man. I mean, look at that.
Yeah.
Nothing more than 2 cards in any color except black and blue. Give everybody a bruise.
I cannot see not playing Dead Weight.
No.
I cannot see not playing the Ghoul. Chant. I could see not playing. Walking Corpse. I guess I could see. He's kind of a different priority there. I absolutely are playing both Victim Night. If we have to sideboard them out because they have no zombies, then so be it. Reap the Seagraph is one of those maybes. Unbreathing Horde, if we go the zombie route, I think would make it. Ghoul Raiser, same thing there. This, no. This guy, probably not.
Only?
Death's Caress, yes. Fiend of Shadows, I don't know how good it is, but...
You're willing to try it?
I'm willing to try it. And Banshee...
Oh, yeah.
Is pretty good. Over here, I don't think Sensory Deprivation will make it. The Assistant, if we're going the zombie route, I think probably does make it, because it gets cards into our graveyard, like these 2 guys do, which we will need for Stitch Drake, and the other Stitch Drake,
and the Mauler.
And the Mauler. And if
and
we
the Goliath.
go with the Goliath, right. This guy is a bomb all on its own.
Sure.
So we take that. Dissipate's one of those kind of value cards. These guys do not fit the theme.
But they're awesome.
Right. But they're very good aggressive beaters. Grip Tide buys us time. Sea Kite's hard. Because it's somewhat defensive. Its power toughness is said as more of a defensive creature. But it also can be, because of the flash, can be semi-removal.
And it's flying, which means that...
Right. If
Yeah.
we get to a ground war, then we can fill it up. So let's say we are going zombies.
Since that's what we drafted, I think that's a wise idea.
Right. And we already have the ghoul there. So yeah, we want our Stitch Drakes for sure. I think we want the makeshift Mauler, and because we have 3 of those guys at minimum, getting the Screeching Scab and the Armored Scab as ways to get
Sure.
more in there is good. Deranged Assistant is a way to get more creatures in our graveyard to feed that. Also makes sense. We talked about these guys just power and because you can recur them. they're worth it that way. So that puts us at 13 creatures, 17 cards. We have 6 cards to go.
Okay.
Under here, we have Ghoul Raiser, which I think we want because we have so many zombies.
Fair enough.
I think because, what are we at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because of that, I think Unbreathing Horde is worth it. Because it's remove a +1/+1 counter. I thought it was one of those ones where, like, if it deals 3 damage, you remove 3.
No, it's just 1.
So if he's an 8/8, you can attack in and kill whatever, and he's a 7/7. And then attack in, and he's a 6/6. So I think Unbreathing Horde makes it, and I think Walking Corpse makes it. And that puts our converted mana cost here. And we're down to 3 cards to go. So then we have the option of either saying, here's where I think we maybe don't want the chant. We have several creatures which remove cards from the graveyard to come into play.
Yeah.
So we may not have many creatures in the graveyard because we wanted to bring out our Stitch Drake and our whatever. This would be a way to get multiple zombies.
Sure.
But it's a 3 casting cost. We're pretty loaded at 3 casting cost.
I think we're probably going to play Griptide.
Yeah, I think Griptide would make sense to make it. Probably Seaskite would make sense to make it. We're at 17 creatures, so we're a little bit heavy on creatures, but that's okay. What I'm thinking
is we actually put in another creature?
Yeah, from where we're at, when we get to turn 3 or 4, and we need to have something dead, what will have died by that point? Maybe a ghoul, corpse. The scab is a great one to die. A good sacrificial lamb. But another option is
Typhoid rat.
The rats, and hopefully you trade up on the value that you're killing with it.
Sure.
So we could go that route. We could go with the finisher because we're big on creatures. So by the time we get to 6, we probably do have 2 creatures in our graveyard.
Sure.
We could go with Dissipate just as kind of the hang back surprise counterspell.
Sure.
It's so much easier when we don't have a focus, and we end up arguing whether or not it's better to play Manor Skeleton or Cobbled Wings.
I think that we should play Call to the Kindred.
Okay. Beginning of your upkeep, you may look at the top 5 cards of your library. If you do, you may put a creature card that shares a creature type with a enchanted creature from among them onto the battlefield, then put the rest of those cards at the bottom of your library in any order. Okay. I will agree to that.
Okay. But,
and this is just because this is light draft beer and we don't always like winning, we put that in.
Fair enough.
Because if we're ever going to get this into play, you don't have to pay the other costs.
Yeah, it just hops right into play.
Right. And so...
Well, and now here, let me see.
You want me to do creature type?
Yeah, if you want to, but I think that we have 1 vampire, 1 lizard, 1 wizard. Otherwise, it's zombies and spirits.
Yeah, 3 spirits, but zombies were at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's pretty good. What zombies are we leaving out? We're leaving out
Sightless Ghoul,
the ghoul, and this, which makes zombies, but we wouldn't retrieve it if we used it. And I don't think you can really argue the value of those over the creatures that we have.
The only one you might argue would be it might be better than the vampire.
Right. because we just don't know.
Yeah, because we've never seen the vampire in play for longer than about 20 seconds.
Right. Okay, so let's add the land.
If it turns out it's a turd in our hand, then we can just swap it out.
Right. 8-9 I'm okay with because we do have a lot of double blue.
Yeah.
And hopefully we get a 1-1 split in the opening hand so we could cast the ghoul if we get it. All right. Now we're going to go and see if the microphone worked, and we'll see you for round 1.